What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to How's It Going to End? How you doing? That's great. Cheers. What's going on? A lot of stuff to talk about this week. A lot of fun shit to get into this week. A lot of disappointing shit to get into this week, too, when it comes to, well, not really a lot. Well, a couple things. You know, simply, everything's fucking pretty shit when you think about it. But also a lot of great things this week. a lot of awesome shit happened this week. We got some movie news. We can talk about Black Widow for a little bit. Spoiler warning. And we can talk about that Loki finale, that fine-ass Loki finale. Definitely spoiler warning, although you've probably seen it. But I'm just going to do that so I don't hear any fucking complaints. What's going on, everybody? Your boy just joined fucking TikTok, and I feel like a fucking senior citizen. I don't know. I feel like I got into it too late. You know what I mean? When I went to download it, because I had like a bunch of people being like, just get it, why not? It's another place to put your shit out, you know? I went to download it, and it said I had already downloaded it before. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, yeah, I remember when it first came out, I downloaded it, and I didn't like it. I was like, this is kind of lame. Nothing's really going on it. I should have fucking stuck with it. Who knows how it would have turned out. But, yeah. And I'm trying to, like, find my bearings on it, you know? It's a whole other fucking thing. It's amazing to me. Every time I try to, like, join something else on the internet, it's always like fucking riding a bull. Like with Twitter, it's like the fact that it's constantly on all the time and you have to prepare yourself for it. Or with how personality-driven TikTok is at this point. There are like 12-year-olds being like, all right, well, you guys know that I like, and I'm like, whoa, you're 12 and you already have a fucking, like a following, a fan base? Jesus, dude. I don't know. There's something interesting to that because there's clearly, it's not just, well, some aspect of it to me is like kind of bland and like marketplace type shit. And then another aspect of it is like these kids know how to they know what they're doing. They know how to, dude, me at 12, oh my God. Imagine me like 12, 13, 14 on one of these fucking apps, this shit that, like we would have gotten into. The craziest thing at 14 was like, and it was old already by the time I was 14, was like AOL Messenger. You know? And that was already on its like back legs when my generation got into that. And I know that it's like mostly also my generation on TikTok. I'm seeing a lot of fucking like 20-somethings on it. But I don't know. It's a whole other fucking level. And it's interesting. It's like fun to join. There's a whole other group of people to kind of show your stuff to. And the algorithm is fucking wild. How it will show you stuff you've thought of if you like scroll through for a couple times. You know what I mean? That's pretty fucking crazy. What's the volume at? Boop boop. Okay, that's good. Yeah, but that's wild. I joined and I was like, all right, I need to make sure I don't see any fucking, I want to be in a bubble. I don't want to see any fucking like right-wing nut jobs. I'm not in the mood for that shit. I don't want to be fucking, I don't want 3-minute videos of people being like, you know why you shouldn't get the vaccine? That's not my fucking type of thing, you know? So that's why everything's fucking closing down again and we have to wear masks again. Because you dumb sons of bitches won't get fucking vaccinated. That's cool. It's nothing like the party of Jesus talking about how they're not going to get vaccinated for other people. But that's white Jesus. That's not Jesus Jesus, you know. How about that? How about the fact that he was probably, Jesus' name was probably Jesus, but fucking white people say Jesus. Whatever. Get fucking vaccinated, you fucking morons. No one cares about you. Get vaccinated. It's for other people. It's for other fucking people. You don't do it for yourself. You do it for the person next to you. All these fucking people love to talk about traditional values, and then they shit on traditional values like as if, I don't know. It's fucking frustrating. And then they're the ones that are upset that it's like, hey, you know, we have to go back to wearing masks because this shit is spreading like fucking crazy. It's supposed to be a good fucking summer, and it's only July, and everyone's like, all right, wrap it up. Let's get into some shit. I think Space Jam came out, the new one with LeBron. Yeah, that shit's out, man. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but I hear that it's getting a ton of shit reviews. There's always something that happens with like kid movies, you know, quote unquote kid movies, where it'll come out, it'll get bad reviews, and then there'll be that second wave of people being like, "Oh, it's not made for you." And it's like, no, this one is particularly made for the 30-year-olds and the 40-year-olds who were alive for the first one, who were conscious for the first one. You know what I mean? My brother and I only watched Space Jam when we were younger because we loved the Looney Tunes, and my uncle showed it to us, and that was like that was the most insane thing, was watching Michael Jordan with the Looney Tunes, you know. And at this point, it's like, this movie is not for today's kids. You know, maybe there are some of these that's what it is. There are these parents that watched the first one and were like, I love this movie. And then they show it to their kids. And then they're like, oh, remember that fucking basketball Bugs Bunny movie I showed you? They made another one. And they included every fucking character ever created, which I already have a problem with those kinds of movies. When a movie relies on like nothing but cameos, there's nothing to it. There have been like 3 movies in the last couple of years that include the Iron Giant just for people to go, hey, that's the Iron Giant. You know what I mean? It was for 90s kids to bring their kids. To bring their kids. To bring theirs kids. Except today's kids don't care about Looney Tunes. You know what I mean? Today's kids is like the shit that they've fucking seen. What are they going to care about? Bugs Bunny and Donald and Daffy Duck? That's why they have to include all these other characters on like the internet. And the always, you know, popular Don Cheadle. Hey kids, you know Don Cheadle? The guy who did that one terrible accent in that movie and replaced the only other black guy in the Iron Man movies. That's the pitch. That's the exact pitch for Space Jam 2. For parents who watched it at that time in 96 and were like, this is the fucking coolest movie ever. And they're showing their kids now. Is like, hey son, hey daughter, hey, check this out. This is this movie. It had all the coolest cartoons. It had Bugs Bunny. It had, you know, fucking Sylvester, the fucking hunter or whatever the fuck. And it had Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time. And don't pay attention. Please pay no mind to the opening song sung by a literal monster who, like, literally 5 or 6 years later would get caught for pissing on a 15-year-old. Pay no mind to that. How much you want to bet there's no fucking reference to that in the new one? I don't know. That'd be funny if they just referenced the R. Kelly, like, documentary. I don't know, man. Hey, speaking of literal monsters, Drake Bell pled guilty. That's fucking crazy. What the fuck happened to this guy? I guess he was always fucked. I don't know. I don't even want to say this is the curse of being a child star. It's like he was fine when he was fucking 16 on Drake and Josh, and now it's when he was a fucking asshole. Hold on, I want to pull that up. Here we go. I already had it up, sucker. Drake and I have the one with Josh's response, which really excited me. Drake Bell's Josh and oh my god, who the fuck does that? They put the title backwards. Drake Bell's Josh and Drake co-star Josh Peck calls actor's child scandal upsetting. A little more than that, but I get what you're trying to do. Josh of Josh and Drake said, "It's upsetting and it's an unfortunate situation. It's disappointing." More synonyms. Come up with more synonyms. Cinnabons. And then here's the girl who's now 19 who claimed that she was 15 when he started all this psycho shit. She said, "He was such a huge part of my childhood, and in return, he ruined my life. Drake Bell is a pedophile, and that is his legacy." Which, by the way, he wasn't on trial for being a pedophile. He was on trial for childhood endangerment. Child endangerment, not childhood endangerment. Although now I won't be able to watch Drake and Josh. So let's put him on trial for that too. I can't watch Drake and Josh without fucking feeling like an asshole. His attorney denied the pedophilia allegations, making it clear he wasn't pleading guilty to sexual assault. However, the actor admitted to engaging in chats with the woman when she was 15 that were in sexual nature. Come on. The semantics. That shit makes me laugh so hard. The semantics of being like, hey. Now he's not pleading guilty to being a pedophile, even though he admitted that he engaged in chat that was sexual in nature when she was 15. All right. And he said, I want to say today that I accept this plea because my conduct was wrong. I'm sorry that the victim was harmed in any way. I hate the wording of that kind of shit because it's always said in a sidesteppy way. It's always said like, I'm sorry that they were harmed in any way, as if they had nothing to do with that harming. You know what I mean? That's always the kind of phrasing that someone who caused the harming uses. It should be fucking... That shit's so funny. It should be written down that you have to be like, I harmed this person. I'm sorry that I harmed this person. It can't be like, I'm sorry they were harmed in any way by whatever fucking... I don't know. That's fucking crazy. And then there's videos, because it's a fucking Zoom trial. There's videos of it online. And there's her being like, this poor fucking girl being like, he ruined my life, which, imagine having any other reaction to that other than stone face. Except this guy's fucking like, he's doing that. Remember that fucking meme of the white guy going like, come on, Drake. Come on, Drake. And then everyone's bringing up that shit that went down in 2017 of Josh not inviting him to his wedding, which is hilarious to me. That's so funny to me because it's like, hey man, what is known? It's always that kind of thing of like, you can never trust an actor when they're like, completely flabbergasted that their co-star or whatever the fuck is secretly a monster. You just can't. It's either they have no clue, oh my God, what? That person is a terrible human being. Or they're like the fucking, what's her name? The wife on the Cosby Show. Who's like preaching about how there's finally justice after Cosby gets released on a fucking technicality. Shit's amazing. That shit's fucking crazy. Imagine that. He gets released on a fucking technicality. He gets released because there's like a deal or whatever that says we won't use this, and if we do, you will get released. And they end up using it, so they fucking release him. And everyone's acting like, oh, the justice system has prevailed. The fuck out of here. And there's that fucking dum-dum being like, justice has been dealt out. Or whatever the fuck she said. There's no fucking debating with that kind of fucking human being. Because I think she said afterwards, like, oh, I realize now that it was wrong or some bullshit. But, like, you're clearly still in support of this fucking monster. So how are you able to continue? You know what I mean? I don't know. That shit fucking is infuriating. Speaking of other, like, dear parts of my childhood, the fuck happened with Ned's Declassified guys? What's going on? The fuck happened, guys? Fucking Mose. I had no fucking clue that idiot was a Trump supporter. I had no fucking clue. I just recently found her on Instagram and I was like, oh shit, I had the biggest crush on Mose as a kid. Ned's Declassified was one of the best shows on Nickelodeon. It was like Scrubs of Nickelodeon in like the early 2000s, the mid 2000s. It was so wacky and funny. And now it's like, what the fuck? And then I see that's the best part. So thanks to this is only thanks to TikTok, by the way. I had no clue what the fuck happened actually until I went on TikTok. I saw on her Instagram story that she was crying. And I was like, oh, geez, what happened to this fucking lady? What happened? What did you do? And of course, the only way to know that someone really fucked something up for themselves is when they say, I'm sorry you were offended. I love that. Do you know how much that fills me with fucking happiness? When a piece of shit goes, I'm sorry you were offended. It's like, oh, it really sounds like we're all trying to vibrate on the same... She landed it with that. Well, hopefully we can all vibrate together, whatever those fucking... Oh my God, I can't stand that kind of fucking person. It's always that kind of person, by the way, that does that. It's always the human pile of garbage that goes, we're not on the same frequency. If anyone comes to me and that's the first thing they say to me is like, hey, are we going to vibe together? Get the fuck out of here. Where are the bodies? Fucking crazy. She made fun of the fucking... she didn't make fun of. What she did was actually worse. It's that new trend on TikTok of the black guys dancing in perfect fucking rhythm that I'm not going to even fucking try to recreate because I'm made up of a fucking like rickety bookshelf, my body. And she made fun of it, but like super condescending, like a fucking real asshole. And then her fucking pals, I guess, did it before. Fucking Ned and Cookie did it. Or Ned did, and it was like kind of fine. And then I guess she laughed at it, and then she made fun of it on her own fucking TikTok. And then Cookie came out afterwards in support of her, and it's like, bro, what are you doing? I get that she's your friend, but you got to know when to draw a fucking line. And it's tough because Cookie was fucking black, so no actual white person can really check Cookie on that. It has to be the black people. I don't know. That shit's fucking hilarious. And then she went on Instagram crying. And then you know what's funny? You know how you can know that she knows what she's fucking doing? Is she mentions alligator tears. And no one crying sincerely would mention alligator tears. You know what I mean? She's self-aware that white women do this as a tactic to get out of, dealing with what they fucking dealt with. Dealing with what they fucking did. You know what I mean? No person who's sincerely like broken or sad by the shit that they did would go, and this isn't even fake crying. You know what I mean? Fucking bullshit. Get the fuck out of here, kid. She's taking a break from the internet for mental health. Okay, that's great. Nothing like the mental health of fucking assholes, right? Get the fuck out of here. I wrote that down. I'm sorry you were offended, which is such an asshole thing to say. That's like, that's such a piece of shit thing to say. To do something like ignorant and just, fucking, and then be like, hey, I'm sorry you took it that way. And then, of course, TikTok is like doing that green screen effect, which is so fucking cool. Why the fuck doesn't every app have that? Where you can, it's like put people dancing to that fucking trend in front of her crying. That's why I'm excited to join TikTok. I'm trying to fix the algorithm to the shit that I like, but so far it's going really well. I don't know. Jesus Christ, it's fucking hot. I think yesterday was, major pivot. Yesterday was the 5-year anniversary of Stranger Things starting, which for some reason feels like it's longer. I don't know why. I never watched Stranger Things. I never got into it. It wasn't my thing. I wasn't in the mood of cashing in on 80s nostalgia, you know. From what I understand, the first season is great, and then the next couple are like fine. But I know that the third was like the most 80s. They include a bunch of stuff from the mall and, you know, like Coca-Cola and whatever the fuck. It's all just a commercial for the 80s. But I know that David Harbour was in that, and his character died. You know, which was like, of course, no one's ever gonna confirm anything anymore. Or like, what I mean is like, nothing is ever a fucking surprise anymore. Like you guys couldn't keep him dead for longer than like 5 minutes. You had to include like an end credit scene of him or whatever, or in the commercial. This weird like incentivization to keep people watching is super strange to me. I'll never fucking relate to it. I think it's just a much more fucking modern thing to be like, everyone's attention is scrambled all over the place. We have to make sure that we keep it. Like, I have this written fucking down. The other day, a thing came out. Stranger Things Season 4 will reveal a long-planned secret about Hopper. Which is, like, cool. Would have been cool to, like, have that secret revealed in the moment, but, you know. And that's different to spoilers. That's not fucking like spoilers. A spoiler, you're dealt the information. This incentivization to be like, hey, make sure to check out Stranger Things Season 4 because a long-planned secret about Hopper is going to be revealed. You know what's the prime example of that? The prime example of a secret not being a secret anymore is like with the Star Wars movies. And you know what I'm talking about. Empire Strikes Back comes out, and no one even considers the idea that, you know, Darth Vader is Luke's dad. And that's why it's such a colossal fucking twist in the moment in the fucking, you know, the 70s. Is no one even expected that to be a part of the story. And which is why fucking in the sequels, the who is Rey's parents? Who are the parents of Rey? Who are they and what do they do and what's their part of this world? And it's like, yeah, well, who gives a shit now? Like, it's not going to be who anyone thinks it is. And even if it is, it's going to be disappointing. And that's how it turned out, which is why I personally loved Rian Johnson's subverting of that expectation. Because no one expected it to be nobody. And it's like, that's why so many people got upset at that. So many Star Wars dorks fucking wailing about the fact that maybe she could have just been a fucking anybody. It's like, all right, that's great. Let's watch, you fucking guys watch Empire Strikes Back in the 70s and be upset about that shit. I don't know. That makes no fucking sense to me. And it's like they followed through with that, with the Rise of Skywalker, that fucking pile of shit. It's like, oh, remember when Star Wars did that thing where someone's related to someone big? Well, we're going to do that even more, you know. I don't know. That's that. Rise of Skywalker was a movie made entirely on fucking fan bullshit. And that shows you how fucking harmful that kind of shit is when it comes to actual creative content. But that's most fandoms, man. You know, you're not going to find that now. You're not going to find like a totally, in anything, a totally down fandom to accept whatever comes. You know what I mean? The Venn diagram of types of people and the types of rejection something gets now is all over the place. Whether it comes to like the obvious, racist and sexist people who want everything straight and white, or the people who just don't want their expectations subverted. They want the same stuff all the time forever, which leans into that shit. I just talked to someone about that with The Last of Us Part 2, which is like, why wasn't The Last of Us Part 2 regarded as the masterpiece that it clearly fucking is? Instantly. It's because it had a lot of lead up. It was the following thing, If it was its own thing, I don't think it would have gotten that much shit. If it was a separate story. I don't know, man. That always fucking happens. Black Widow. I saw that recently. Saw it last week. I'm just going to get some simple stuff out of the way. I don't really care to talk about it enough. I don't know. I don't think it changed. I mean, it obviously doesn't change anything. It's like, I mean, you know what I already fucking feel like about, if you follow me about Black Widow. Who gives a shit, right? Shit, it came out fucking 10 years ago. Doesn't matter now. It's too late. You missed the opportunity for it to mean anything to anybody. I'm so glad it didn't start off Phase 4, though. Holy shit. Imagine that. Imagine starting Phase 4 with a fucking prequel of a dead character. Fucking lame. WandaVision is such a perfect start for Phase 4. And then we got Loki, man. Loki. Oh. Wasn't that fucking... fuck the Black Widow talk. I don't care enough to talk about it. It was fine. It was alright. It wasn't amazing. Nothing truly special about it except for Florence Pugh, honestly. She was amazing. Otherwise, how fucking good was Loki, man? I just burped. How fucking good was Loki? That shit was insane. I called it. I pointed it out on Instagram already, but I called it the ending. I just didn't include Kang because I didn't truly believe that they would go there. But they went there. That was fucking awesome. The multiverse is fucking set up, folks. That is some wild ass shit. Here's why I'm so glad that the multiverse is finally like a thing. Fuck continuity. Anything goes. The only thing that doesn't go is what you as a fan restrict from yourself. You know what I mean? It's infinite. Whatever you think of, that's continuity officially. It's expanded to everything now. The only thing that's limited is when a fan goes like, that's it. Otherwise, it's all fucking canon. Get the fuck out of here. That's fucking awesome. That's the only thing I want from these comic book universes at this point. I don't care about, centered universes. I don't give a shit about like one line of canon because it's so fucking limiting. Expand it to where, who gives a fuck at this point? Anything goes. Anything happened. Anything is, because that's how comic issues are. That's how, monthly, bi-monthly releases are. It's all fucking over the place. It's all a tangled fucking web. Speaking of web, how about that? How about that fucking introduction? We got, I don't know why I said speaking of web. I guess No Way Home. We got to fucking finally meet Kang, which, ooh, woo, woo. Jonathan Majors is a fucking, I'm speechless when it comes to him. Fucking incredible. Hot damn. That shit was amazing. What a perfect introduction for such a character. And to lead up to build excitement for what comes next. I mean, dude, I haven't been excited for Marvel in a while. And even with Endgame and all that stuff, it's like, yeah, I get it. I know it's coming. I can understand. You know, it's going to be a crazy fight. And everything's back to normal except a couple of guys are gone. That's not enough anymore at this point. After 10 years of comic book movies, of mainstream comic book movies. At this point, you need something like this. You need a Viagra. That's what the multiverse is comic book movie Viagra. Everything fucking goes, man. That's the shit, dude. And I'm really glad that they didn't do which, like, as much as they're using a lot of the science or whatever because of the writers of Rick and Morty. They're using a lot of the Rick and Morty, like, parallel timeline dimension shit. I'm really glad they're not going with, like, how, like, it's just 1,000 of the same looking Ricks. You know? Your cells in another universe are different from the cells in your universe, so you wouldn't look the same, which is why you get a cool fucking... That's why every variant is different. It's a human looking, which is fucking so cool, because that's the most interesting way to do it. They did it on the CW a year ago or so with the Flash, when Ezra Miller's Flash met Grant Gustin's. It's like, fuck yeah, dude. That's the shit, man. That's the kind of multiverse that I fucking want. Where it's like, who gives a fuck about the canon of this one fucking storyline? It's the same that goes with, like, or even before it was confirmed, that's how I thought about all this shit. It was like, oh, that's something that I don't truly care enough about. All right, it's in another timeline. That's I resided it in myself to be like, it's a whole other canon, and it's fine. I think that's the coolest thing about the multiverse, is that you're not pinned down anymore. You're not fucking limited by all this storytelling. Because that's what is so limiting about the first 10 years of the fucking MCU, is they had to follow this fucking continuity. No room for actual genuine experimentation. But now is like is such a fucking explosion of creativity from Marvel that I'm actually amazed. And to no fault of their own, they started with WandaVision, which is what a fucking fantastic way to start Phase 4 with something that ridiculous and creative. And then you kind of lean into your same thing with fucking Winter Soldier. And then you come out of it with Loki, like this insane concept of nothing but complex creativity. Woo! That's some good shit. That's some good shit, man. Fuck yeah. You see what happens also when your finale isn't just a giant CGI fucking jumble? When your finale is like a dialogue-driven, character-driven, complex fucking moment. So good. I don't know, man. Oh, is that like a sponsor, I guess? No, it's not. They're not paying me. I should do that, I guess. Oh, J&B. 19 fucking 70s, 60s whiskey. Pay me. Why not? But yeah, man. Now's the fucking time to do whatever the fuck. That's what the What If series is. That's what No Way Home is gonna basically be. They're gonna pull in fucking everybody. There's no way that Toby and Andrew are not in it at this point. If they aren't, it's gonna be a real fucking letdown. I think that like the collateral from them not being in it is gonna be super fucking hard if they're not in it. That's gonna be hilarious. But I think they are. I can be positive that they're going to be in it at this point. And then with fucking Multiverse of Madness, man. Wanda's gonna... I called all this shit. I called it. Wanda's gonna try and grab her kids, and Strange is gonna have to deal with all this fucking shit, the poor guy. And then I'm actually looking forward to a fucking Ant-Man movie. I saw the first one, and I was like, alright, this is average. And then I didn't want to see the second one, but I did, and I was like, this is fucking lame. The whole point of the second one is the end credit scene. You want to see where Ant-Man was during the snap. That's it. No one else gives a fuck about the actual movie. And then the third one, it's going to have Kang. It's going to have Jonathan Majors. What a fucking great portrayal of a villain. What a great portrayal of like an interesting and developed villain, and he's introduced so great. Like he's funny. He's got a personality to him. He's not some fucking stoic, reasonable villain like how they did to Thanos. Like I liked Josh Brolin's Thanos. Don't get me wrong. I liked it. It was fine. He was super compelling. Yada fucking yada. I'm so tired of my villains being compelling. I want some batshit crazy motherfuckers coming in with some personality. Bring me some fucking guys that just want to be some fucking evil motherfuckers. Like Thanos was that in the comics, and they completely stripped him of that personality. He was a charismatic fucking psycho. And then you strip him of that. The charisma and the charm Jonathan Majors brings to this fucking character is unbelievable. Too fucking good. Like, I'm actually looking forward to this Ant-Man movie now. I couldn't give a fuck less before that. So fucking good, dude. That's gonna be great. Holy shit. What a great finale, though, for Loki. Like, just such a solid season 1, and it's already confirmed for a season 2, which is, I don't know why I thought that Falcon and the Winter Soldier also got a season 2 confirmation, but I guess it didn't. Loki's the first one. And yeah, it ends on such a great note. Like, I love when something ends with such a fuck you. You know what I mean? I don't want everything to kind of like end all, not to end it all positive, but to end it all where it's like, all right, that's the bow on that's the ribbon on the present. WandaVision kind of had that. Even though it ended with her looking through the Book of the Dead or whatever, it ended with like, all right, well, tell the people of the town I said sorry, bye, and she goes away. And then Falcon and Winter Soldier is like so unbelievably, how is it more unrealistic, and it's supposed to be more realistic than the other two, of being like, hey everybody, do better. Well, how logistically do we do better, Anthony Mackie? I don't know. Figure it out. Oh, that's great. I don't know. That's just so fucking frustrating. And then that's why I love that's why I love WandaVision and Loki more. Because the creative risks they took are so outside the fucking box, and Falcon and Winter Soldier is just so much more of the same thing. And as much as I love Sebastian Stan in it, it's not enough for me to be like, that's the show I want to rewatch. I've rewatched WandaVision like, I think 3 times so far. I think I rewatched it immediately after the finale, and then recently I rewatched it again before Loki. But I want to give Loki a rewatch now just to see what else I can pick at. I don't know. Such a good fucking unfolding of a story. Of a creative, interesting, captivating story. Dude, I'm fucking killing it. And now this multiverse is like, I've said this before, I'm so excited for the next 10 years now. Because it's all going to be tied in. That's fucking crazy, dude. Shit. I kind of ran through everything I wanted to talk to. How great was that fucking ending in Loki where Loki finally finds Mobius and is trying to explain everything that happened, but time has already been changed. You know? The reality has been changed already, so. Ooh. That's some crazy ass shit. I love that I saw this post that said everyone was expecting Loki to end with like seeing Mobius in them on a jet ski. And instead it ended with Mobius being like, who are you? And it's like, that's so heartbreaking. And seeing the Kang statue, and That's how you set up a fucking villain, dude. You bring in a variant and being like, listen, you don't want to meet the next guy. And then you force the next guy on us. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. I didn't make the comparison between Sylvie and Star-Lord in Endgame. I saw that afterwards, and it didn't fit as much to me personally. I mean, yeah, like they're the only similarities that they're both decisions made in like irrational anger, but something about Sylvie's felt much more like righteous that I would have been in full support of, even though Loki made more sense to be like, let's maybe leave this guy alone. What else is there, man? I'm probably gonna release a full bonus episode to talk Loki with Frank from the Basement Yard, like how he did for WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier. At some point this week, probably though. It's gonna be full notes and talking about and spoilers and all that shit, a full discussion. But I think that's pretty much it, man. Shorter episode today. I'm totally fine with that. Not bad. All right. I've got all the links in my Instagram bio for where you can find the podcast. You can find it here on YouTube channel, Comedian to Cinema. You can find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. How's it going to end? If you could leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts, that'd be cool. It helps a lot. You can follow on Twitter at Comedian Cinema. You can follow on TikTok, Comedian to Cinema. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. See you next time.